Cool. All right. Emergency podcast. We all had to jump in here. Welcome back to On and Off Court Edition. Nico, what is his name? Harrison? Manny? What the fuck is his name? Nico
Nico
Harrison?
Harrison.
Yep,
Yeah.
Nico Harrison. Dallas Mavericks GM is no longer the Dallas Mavericks GM. He was fired earlier today at about 10 a.m. I believe it was Pacific time. Dallas Mavericks announced it ahead of time, which is the most interesting thing. I've never seen a team announce that they were going to have a firing at a specific time. We're gonna go jump right into Ken because he had a lot of points he wanted to make about this. He has some interesting opinions on this. Go ahead, take the floor.
Yeah, so for me, man, like I stated, I look, and I know people gonna call me crazy because I've been defending Nico and I'm stand on it. I feel like at this time, at this moment, 11 games in, I feel like he shouldn't have been fired. I feel like we should at least gave him, if not the full season, or at least to like the tread day on to see how the Mavs pan out when they're actually on the court. 'Cause it's like when Nico made that trade, people want to say it's a bad trade. People have different perspective and opinions, but it's like he made that trade. He thought that it was going to be Kyrie AD on the floor when they're fully healthy. So we only got a half of of Nico's vision. We got one half, and I feel like a lot of perspectives and narratives being pushed, and I just feel like the fans are just way too pushy and way too emotional to let him, like, not even just him, just let the team just to have a feel of what they're gonna look like. I feel like there's so much time left to benefit off that, and I just feel like Nico is a scapegoat, and I feel like um 11 games in, the fire him is crazy because I feel like you don't have no GM, and it's like, what are the players play? Like, where do the players go from here? And it's like we don't know if it's gonna be a full rebuild or they're winning, but the reports say that they're winning and they're locked in. But it's like at the same time, like, are Mad fans still gonna be engaged? Or y'all still gonna be upset? Because at the end of the day, like, he's gone, but it's looking to walk back in through them doors. No, he's not. So it's like, and like my whole point is, fire him, fine, but like you can't fire him when you basically have 80% of the season left, and it's like I feel like the ownership. I feel like ownership was I feel like ownership was swayed by what fans were thinking, but not letting how to see how it played out. Like it's kind of similar how to Jeremiah Green. I don't know if you watch his podcast. He was talking about it. He explained now, like you can't be um basically you can't be like full throttle when it's like you don't have them on the court. And he said, like, if you watch the Dallas play, he said there's some upside from it, right? Most of the games we played, I feel like was clinch time. We didn't have a star, and I feel like in those games that were close and we lost, I feel like we have just literally just one of Kyrie D. We have a chance to win those games. And I feel like when you have an 18-year-old kid who's closing out games, you have PJ Washington, who's not a star player. When you have Max Christie, who's 22 years old, who's a role player, right? When you have Najee Marshall, who's known as a role player. When you have Daniel Gafford, who's a role player. When you have D'Lo, who's a role player. And you're trying to having these guys close games and ask them to do that. It's like that's not the role. So it's like I feel like those games that we lost to me were like, to me, I was looking at it as a bad sign. I was thinking in my head like, hey, look, these games are close to playoff type teams, and I feel like if we have a star player on the floor, we might have a different outcome. Like we're number one in clutch time played this year. Meaning that I don't know how that's negative. If you look at the roster, the way it's constructed, we had no star on the floor to close. And that's like the teams that we lost to had top 15 players, had star players that are all world talents that we lost to. And I feel like Nico was a scapegoat for his team being injured. And I feel like Nico put a product that he's seen a vision of what that looked like in one half when they're up 30 against Houston last year. We seen that for one half. That's it. And I feel
Nico's
like
being this Nico's being the scapegoat because he
he's a
traded
scapegoat.
Luka Doncic.
I get he
Yeah,
traded Luka Doncic, but like the
good
whole point
dude,
is,
bro.
look, what you're not understanding is Patrick Dumont also had a key in this. I feel like people are not understanding. Nico
And
is
he
GM.
admitted that it was a bad trade.
He's a
Yeah, but
clown.
like
Don't take him serious, man.
if you're ownership and you sign off with some and something is given to you, isn't it not your job to tell the product no?
Yeah, but he also admitted it was a bad trade. That's my point.
Okay, he can admit that, but the whole point is for him to sit up there and act like he had, like, for Patrick Dumont, he literally sat there and talked to a fan courtside. Like
Yeah,
let's
but
let's
here's the thing.
if
At
you're
the
but
end of
like
the
if you're
day,
running
hold
like
on.
go ahead.
Hold on, hold on. Here's the thing though, because it wasn't the owner's idea in the first place. It's not like these are
I think
new
that's
owners.
debatable.
This isn't Mark Cuban. Hold on, because
Yeah.
it is true. They've already talked about it. Nico said that he had private conversations with why am I forgetting his name on the Lakers?
Micah.
Uh
Mar-
yeah,
Uh,
Rob Pelinka. They're close friends. They were having personal conversations and throwing these ideas out, and Nico presented this idea to ownership, and they trusted Nico's vision. It wasn't like they came up to him and presented it. Nico was the one that did it. It was
okay, but
all his idea. So
that's
I feel like
understandable.
because it's backfired, it's rightfully so directed towards him because it like the thing is yeah, I agree that his vision hasn't been seen properly because they pretty much have been flooded with injuries, so they haven't really gotten the proper chance to see what they can do. But you traded for a player who's 32 and it's an aging 32 because AD has been hurt his entire career. And
Hmm.
in the last 2 seasons, he's only played 50 games
Yeah, that's true.
for a young player who literally had just got you to the NBA Finals and he's only 26.
That's true. But like, well, the thing and the aspect is what I'm
It
saying
just
is
doesn't make sense.
And you
from a player. But
and
look,
and
if you do a player, if you do a player swap, no. But if you look at the trade itself of what Nico was trying to see, he was looking at how. If you see how the league's constructed, you have double bigs, right? That's basically the modern NBA, right? Pretty much almost every single team is basically running it, right? So it's like he's looking at that, and he's also looking at the prototype of just switchable wings and a guard that can
Do you
create.
know what else all those elite teams also have? Is they have one super mega star that can
who's
get them a bucket at any point
who's
that's
also
averaging
durable.
30 and he's
Yeah,
durable.
but
Like he played on one knee and he might have been hurt, but he played on one knee and led the
I
team to
wouldn't,
the
I
finals
wouldn't, I
on one
wouldn't
knee.
say Tyrese Halliburton is a super duper mega star, and he led his team to the
I think
finals.
he led the
But
Pacers to the finals. You can say he's a star.
He's a star, but he was not like one of them generational type stars.
their offense is way better than y'all's, bro. Even when y'all
No,
healthy, you're not
yeah,
touching the Pacers
look.
offense.
The thing,
They have
look,
one of the greatest
look.
offense in NBA
You
history,
can say,
bro.
you can say we're not gonna touch the offense. I'm not looking at it to be the number one offense. I'm just saying if we were top 10, and I feel like the offense. You can
Okay,
say
but AD, you
hold
keep
on,
saying that, bro. But
let
like
me talk. I'm
AD's
saying
never,
I know you keep
never
saying
gonna be
AD's
healthy, bro.
never. I know you're
Never gonna
saying
be
AD's
healthy.
never gonna be healthy. I understand that, but it's like AD was on schedule to come back this week, right? And I feel like some games that we lost were winnable. And I feel like, yeah, AD's injured prone. I understand where you guys are coming from, but I feel like 11 games in, right, to hit the panic button because
He's
the
also out
fans
of
are
shape.
crying. Okay, I understand he's out of shape. I agree with you on that step. But my whole point is to sit up there and let a fan's opinion persuade you and have your thought process
The
fall
fans are their
from what
paying
you
customers.
look. But when you invest in something, right? When you invest something as a business, like let's say you run a business and you invest in something, do you expect something to happen early or to have the outcome grow?
The fans are what gives them money.
Yeah, but the fan look. I understand the fans give them money, but the point was is if you have a product on the floor and you have yet to see them on the court and
What does
you
that
have
matter
not.
to the fans? That's the thing.
I
I'm saying,
have
but the
saying.
fan, look,
You
that's
think
what the
the
again. But
fans
again,
don't
I
care?
understand. Look, I understand. Look, the
The
fans
fans
never
see that you're
look.
3-8, man.
The Mavs could win a
That's the fans see. They
championship.
don't
Look,
care
my
the
whole
game is
point is,
close
my whole
or y'all
point is
lost
the
close
Mavs.
games.
But you gotta understand, the Mavs are not. Some of these fans are not gonna care, even if they win a championship, now because they want Luka to be. There are fans that said, even if the Mavs win a championship, they would not care because Luka was traded and it felt like the championship was bought because they felt like
Have the right to feel like
not
that.
a natural. Okay, but so you're telling me if your franchise had a chance to win a championship and a player got traded, you're telling me you rather take the rather keep a you rather keep a franchise player. I'm not saying that's going to be outcome, but I'm saying let's say that you had a
The thing
generational
is
talent,
that
right? And you had
I hear what you're saying.
a
I
built
hear
team to
what you're
win a
saying.
championship. And
But
let's say the Mavs do win, right? Or whatever. I'm not even saying if they do. Let's say if a team does win a championship, that's the following year, right? And the player you sent out the door was generational talent, right? And the fans are upset with that. You're telling me you choose that player over a championship?
they,
That's not
the,
what
the,
they would
Dallas
take the
fans,
championship.
They will
yeah,
not.
but
Most Mav, I'm literally most
Dallas
Mav
fans
fans
are
are literally
different
saying
though,
they don't
man.
care.
Bro,
They're literally talking
Well,
about. They're literally
hold
saying
on.
they would. The only person that they want Dallas. to win was behind Luka because Luka was drafted for them, and they feel like they raised Luka, which is
They have a right to
understandable.
feel like that.
Hold on.
They have a right to feel like that,
Hold
though.
on. And we're taking a small percent. Like, yeah, a lot of Dallas fans are upset because Luka was traded. But if they had actually won last year or looked like a contender this year, Dallas fans wouldn't be complaining. But they looked like trash last year, and they aren't gonna make the playoffs this year. It looks like.
But they didn't look like
So
trash.
what
They
do
just
they
they
have?
lost games.
They did.
Bro,
They
they had the same issues last year, bro. They was in close games. They
hold
can't
on.
score.
Before
AD
we
Yeah,
didn't
because they
even
don't have a
play though.
closer. That's what I'm
Okay, but
saying. Like,
he's there. Y'all keep saying that he's not going to be on the floor, bro. He'll play. Herb, you're a Lakers fan. You know about Anthony Davis, bro.
yeah,
I
hold
mean,
on. I
He'll
want to
yeah,
play
get
for a
but
Herb.
month.
still,
I
like,
want to get
He'll
Herb
get
in the
banged up.
conversation.
my bad. I was looking for my charger, but I don't know. I kind of see
No,
where
you're
Kendall's
good.
coming from because, like,
thank
coming
you.
through, coming through, like as a Cowboys fan, we kind of made like the same kind of trade this year, and
Yeah.
we don't fully know what like the trade's gonna come out to until we get. Well, we flipped it. We flipped some of our We flipped it to Quentin Williams. We still have draft picks. We have Kenny Clark, but we don't know like what
And
is
like Quentin
fully
Williams is
gonna.
good too. Like it's not like he's
Yeah.
a bad player, but he's not on the
Yeah.
level of Micah. And
And
it's
he's
the same
not,
thing with
but
Anthony Davis.
and exactly they're not. But the
But
thing is, if
it
someone
still
makes a
builds the
move,
team.
yeah, go ahead,
It still
Herb.
builds the team into like a better position than when we had him. Like
Okay,
a
but the whole point is though, like he traded Luca because he was calling him out of shape, this and that, and look at
Okay,
Anthony
we
Davis right
understand.
now.
Look, Keyshawn, I understand you traded Luca. You
That's what
come
makes
out
it even
short,
look
but not
worse,
look.
bro.
Well, it looks worse, but the thing is, you can't judge a product without having a substance of how it plans out.
I can't because I know Anthony Davis not gonna stay on the floor.
Okay,
Well,
but
He's
that,
got a
Herb's
whole career sample
example.
size,
look, I
bro.
understand
He's
that.
got a
Okay,
whole
I
career
understand
sample
that.
size, man. You're
Okay,
betting on
but
Anthony Davis stay healthy at 32 years old. That's what you're telling me, right?
I would at least give him the season. That's all I'm saying. You let the season
He's
play
played
out,
50
and you fire
games in
him.
the last
If
two
look,
seasons.
He's played, bro.
well,
He
fire
played
him right
15
now.
games
But
with y'all, bro.
but like the whole point is
15.
what? Okay, but what does fire him 11 games didn't do for them?
Shit, it don't matter, bro.
Is
They had
Luka
to
gonna
get out
walk
of
back
there.
through the door? But okay, but is Luka gonna walk back through the doors?
Okay, but they're chanting fire Nico every home game, bro. If you
Okay,
keep
I
him there,
understand that.
you
That's just
bro,
fans though. But they're gonna
that's just
look
not even
fans.
a home game at this point, bro. The
Then
players
the
gotta
game,
deal with
like,
that.
look, okay,
At least
but
they
again,
go. At least you're not gonna hear that no more, bro. About fire Nico. I mean, there's some people
but
that
like
are still
they're
complaining about
still
the
fans.
ownership, which
There's still
rightfully so.
fans
I don't blame
crying
them,
about. There's still fans are crying about Michael Finley taking over because Michael Finley is part of the Lucas situation, and
but they're not gonna
and
chant. They're
now
not
right
gonna
now
chant
right
fire,
now
Mike. They're not gonna chant fire. Whatever's the dude that just took his
Finley,
place.
Mike Finley,
They're
Michael
not gonna
Finley.
say that, bro.
They just put him in. They're not going to
I'm gonna
fire him
tell.
right
Yeah,
away.
they're not.
He's
They're not
plugging,
gonna
but
chant that, bro.
he was part of the Luca
No,
trade.
Cooper Flag literally, bro, had it, bro. Cooper Flag's an 18-year-old kid. Every home game, he's got to hear fire Nico chants every game. And you're telling me Nico should stay on it as GM?
I understand that, and for Flag, I don't want anybody to do with that. But in the story, what I'm trying to say is, Mad fans to me, I feel like don't mind unless Luka walk through the doors. I don't think they give a fuck. That's just how I feel. I think they're not gonna care. Excuse my language, but I just feel like they think Luka's gonna walk back through the doors after Nico's fire, which is not gonna happen because Luka is basically the
I
golden
haven't
boy
seen
now.
that.
You haven't seen that? Go ahead and check the Mavs page and go see what they're saying right now. Talking about Luka was welcome back. Go check his IG comments. A bunch of Crybaby fans talking about Luka. It's free to come back. You can walk back through these doors.
Crybaby
Bunch of
fans. What do
comments.
you
Why
mean?
wouldn't they want to? Why wouldn't they?
But you would.
That was
You
their
traded
franchise
their
Okay,
player.
generational
and that.
player. How you thinking
Okay,
they're gonna
but
feel?
you told me flooding Luka's comments and flooding the Mavs IG page. You're gonna bring him back? You think Luka's gonna care that
No,
they
but it's
fired?
like I don't blame them though.
Okay, so
Well, how
the
are
question
Mavs fans
is
supposed
Luka
to
gonna?
feel?
Yeah, like
But
how are they
Hold
supposed to
on,
feel,
hold
man?
on.
You think they're
How are
supposed to get
Mavs
over
fans
after a
supposed
few
to
months?
feel
firing
when
Nico
the
doing what for them? What is it doing? What is it gonna bring them?
what did Nico do for them? He traded the
Nico,
guy that brought them to the
we
NBA Finals.
again, we understand that, but again, Nico had a vision where the product wasn't
Oh
played out
Lord, bro.
to its extent, right? If you
Nico's
understand
vision was
correctly,
clearly
That
clouded.
that vision is never gonna happen, bro. I was just
if
home
you
with it's
invest,
never gonna happen, man.
let's say you invest in the
AD's
stock
not gonna stay
market,
healthy enough to happen, bro.
you keep talking about AD's health, right? I'm not talking about.
That's
I'm
the
talking
whole
about.
reason he traded Luca.
Okay, that's fine. That he traded, but he traded Luca because he felt like he put AD in a situation. It's not about It's not about AD being a better player than Luca. Nobody thinks that.
Nobody.
It's about
Okay,
putting a team that you felt like was out there the way the league was heading. I feel like he tried to match what I feel like what Nico seen. He seen that OKC was such a great team, and that OKC was pretty much flawed everywhere. They had no flaws. So he was
You know
thinking to
what
say like,
OKC
okay,
has
the way
right now
he was
that
constructed.
Dallas lacks
Yeah,
is a
Shea, bro.
player
Nobody
on
rosters touching
Shea's
Shea.
level.
Look,
Which you know
Not even
again,
what
close,
players
again,
bro.
on Shea's
Come
again,
on,
level?
again,
dog.
again, again,
It's
again, again.
Luca.
We can't say player love because we literally seen Tyler Halburn go out there in game 7. We don't know the
A
outcome.
historic offense. They have a historic. They had a historic offense though.
Pacers had a
Okay, but
great team.
again,
Pacers were
you
led
know,
by a really
The Mavs,
And
good
the
Rick
head
Mavs,
Blau
coach.
is a great coach, and Jason Kidd, bro. He's a championship coach. That's not the same thing at all. So I don't want you talking about the Pacers. Like
the Mavs, we seen the Mavs for one and
that
a
Pacers
half.
team last year was like
We
12
seen the
deep, bro.
Mavs for one. We
Had
seen
a
the Mavs
historic
for one.
offense.
We seen the
Hall of
Mavs
Fame
one half.
coach.
We seen the Mavs in one half put up 70 points
Oh
to
my
hold Houston
god,
Rockets
bro.
38 points in one half. That's what we seen last year against the 2 seed. We seen that for one half. We didn't get to see them play it out. I understand you keep talking about if healthy, but we never got to see the Mavs if healthy. So how you gonna say you're gonna judge them and say not gonna be that? But they look really
Bro,
fucking good
they're
when they're
not,
healthy.
bro. Bro, you've been saying that since last year, bro. AD came out of shape, but he's
Okay,
hurt
but
right now,
again, I
bro.
keep saying last year, but you didn't even get a chance to see it this year.
All
That's the
right.
point.
AD's always hurt, man.
If you keep talking about AD's health, that's what you're not understanding.
Because that's the whole thing, bro. He's not going to be
You
healthy. You're
have a
basing on Anthony
full
Davis being healthy.
again, and Keyshawn, when you have a full season to actually see if it's gonna happen
Oh Lord,
compared to
All
11 games
right.
size, like I
It
said,
is
All
way
right.
too. It
you
is
can't
way too
Hold
early
on.
to
Let's go. I
fire
want to go
him.
ahead. I want to hear Herb one more time. Go for it,
go
Herb.
ahead, Herb.
It's just way too early, bro. Like you ain't
Thank
even
you.
you ain't even let like even if AD can't stay healthy, you gotta at least see what it
way too
is. Like
early.
It's not even Christmas yet.
we
Well,
haven't even
this is
finished. We
also a
haven't even been
continue.
20 games in.
This is
And it's
also
like
a continuation
you're
from
firing a
last
GM
season
without a
That's what I said.
because
And
he
it's
was
firing a
not even
GM
traded
about
without
it.
a
They
before
were
the
plan.
trash
deadline.
last year, bro. They were trash last year, bro.
That
The
was the
same
end
I
of the
stuff
mean,
you're
season.
doing this
AD
year.
got
You're talking about last year.
they were last. They're in the
Hold on.
play-in.
Cooper
What did
Flag
Herb
wasn't
say?
there last year.
And
And
they
then
still
Cooper,
trash right now.
Yeah, because he's still a
Are they
rookie,
not?
like developing.
I'm
yeah,
not.
but they're
I'm
but
not
they're
talking
but
about Cooper Flag, bro. I'm
you keep
just
saying that
saying
they're but
they
like
weren't good
Keyshawn, what you don't
last year,
understand,
and they
Keyshawn,
continued off from last year, bro.
you're saying that they're
And
trash, but the games that they're
your
losing,
whole argument is because
but the
Anthony
games,
Davis and Kyrie's not
Keyshawn,
healthy. And they
Keyshawn,
both
you're
been
saying they're
injured from
trash.
their whole entire career.
Keyshawn, but you're saying they're trash, but yet the games that they're losing, they're number one in clutch time played,
Hey,
meaning
and L's
they
and
don't
L,
have a
bro.
starter to close the game.
Hey, and L's and L, man.
At the end of the
Keyshawn,
day,
so
an L is an L.
That
if you was
record
in a
says 3 and
situation,
8.
right?
You
Okay,
think they
that's
gonna care
fine,
at the
but
end of the year, bro? That record says 3 and 8, bro. That's what it says.
okay, that's
Nobody
fine,
cares how many clutch games you
the
got.
fact that the
Nobody
games are
cares how close
winnable,
the losses are, bro.
the fact that the games are winnable, and they have a single star out there, it means something. Does that not?
Yeah, it means something. Anthony Davis can actually stay on the floor, which we all know he
And you
won't.
keep saying we stay. Look, now you're saying we stay on the floor, bro. This is exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
Bro, we have
Like,
a whole career sample of Anthony Davis who your franchise is banking on, bro.
okay, a whole career. Also, Anthony Davis be the top 75 player ever. Don't we not have that? Doesn't Anthony Davis have jewelry?
Bro,
Wasn't
he's
Anthony Davis
33 now,
basically
bro.
wasn't AD the reason why the Lakers, if they win a deep playoff run, was because of AD's presence on the floor? Was
How
he the
long
most
ago was that?
impactful player for LA?
How
This
long ago
wasn't that
was
long
that?
ago. He's been the most impactful player since he's been in LA
That
the
wasn't
last
that long
4 years.
Hold
ago.
on.
Oh my god.
Are we
Was
not
AD not
acting
the best
like
player?
This
that?
guy, bro.
Hold
80 was the
on.
best player
We're
from
not even gonna bring up that
2022,
championship that the Lakers
2023, and
won.
2024 for the Lakers.
He just said best player of the team. You hear him? Oh my.
I mean, you can ask Laker fans; they're gonna say that. I mean, let's be honest. You're not getting Luka Doncic. We're trading Luka Doncic for
This is
LeBron.
coming.
Let's be honest.
This is a
Let's
Kyrie
be
fan.
honest though. Look, let's be honest though. Answer the question: Are the Lakers would the Mavs accept that trade if it was Luka for LeBron? Straight up.
Nigga, he's 40. What do you
Okay, but
mean?
I'm not saying his age. I'm not look. See, now you're saying he's 40. So you just prove my point why AD is better than right
He
now.
is.
Okay, but I look. We understand
AD,
LeBron's
he
40,
can't
but
even
what I
stay on the
said,
floor.
do you get Luka Doncic if you trade LeBron?
No, because he's 40 years old, bro.
Okay, so does that mean Anthony
What
Davis is a better
are we
player?
doing here?
So it's Anthony Davis.
He's
So it's
not a better.
Anthony. It's
They're
AD.
both not better than Lucas. What's the
Keyshawn,
point?
bro.
What are you arguing
Keyshawn, bro.
about?
If
They're
the Mavs,
both not better than
hold on.
Luca.
The funny part,
It'll be a dumb trade either way.
If the Lakers, the Mavs do, of the Mavs will call, if the Lakers would call AD to get
And it'll
AD
still
back,
be the worst.
what do
And
you think
it'll
the Mavs
be
would say?
still be the worst trade in NBA
Matt,
history. If he traded
you think
LeBron
the
for
Mavs
Luka,
gonna
that's
hang up the
still the
phone?
worst trade. What?
You think the Lakers gonna set that trade in a heartbeat for AD for LeBron? You think they want to do that?
I just said they wouldn't.
There, you point proven. So you just
I'm
prove AD
saying
is a
on the
better player
Mavs
right
side,
now.
it's still a terrible trade either way.
I
Why
said
are you
Hold
bringing
AD
up
is
on.
LeBron
One
better.
for?
second.
I said okay, but what I'm saying is, I said AD was the most impactful player for LA for the last 4 years, and I stand on that.
All right. Herb, do you think AD is actually going to be like, let's say he does get on the court and he gets into game shape because he says he plays himself into game shape, which I've never seen him look this fat before. It looks like he's wearing a James Harden fat suit.
Exactly. Like, come
Do
on,
you
dude.
think do you think AD can actually keep the team floating around 500 until Kyrie comes back and to see what the roster could look like?
Not just AD.
So that's a lot of expectation on also Cooper Flag, in my opinion, too. I mean, he's just a rookie.
Exactly, bro. They expect
I
an 18
mean,
kid.
honestly,
18
their
years
season
carry to win a
wasn't.
championship. Like, come on, dude.
What was up,
They weren't
Herb?
going to be contenders really, but
But that was Nico's vision, though.
they were going to be
Nico
better
Nico said
than.
Nico said that it was win now moves for the next 2 years. Did he not say that?
Also, if we're doing this based off of the timeline of after Luca got traded, which was way before the trade deadline, they fell in the standings so far that they ended up getting the first pick in the draft. And I feel like
I wouldn't say they
yeah,
failed
sure,
in
they got
standings.
Cooper.
Exactly.
They finished the ninth
Exactly.
seed. They were in the play-in.
But
They're one
they
game
lost
from
the
the
Yeah,
playoffs.
but
they lost the
they
playing though.
were
They got blown by Memphis. That wasn't even a good team. Like, Memphis was
they
imploding last
fell
year. They
down the
lost by 30,
standings
bro.
completely.
Come on, bro.
After the Luca trade, they completely fell down the standings.
Exactly.
No, I don't think after Luka trade, they fell on the standing with Kyrie's ACL tore. That's when
Bro,
they
you was
fell
in
down the
Yeah,
standings.
the playing
after
with you
that,
was in the playing, bro.
We
You
were
was
six
still in
to
the
eight,
playing with them.
but the point is we were 6-8 until Kyrie's injury happened, and then we completely fell off. That's what
yeah,
happened.
the thing, Kyrie's injury
And
happened
it ain't
weeks
just Luka trade.
after the
We
injury.
also had a bunch of injuries. We had no front court for a month and a half.
Okay, you
No
got no
wings.
front
Yeah,
court
but
now. You got no front
We had,
court
but
now. You
okay,
got
I
no front
understand
court
that.
now,
But
bro.
you said after
You
Luka
expect
trade
the
was
Mavs to
February
get
8th.
healthy.
We were still in the playoff standings all the way up until damn near beginning of April. That's when we fell off. The
And then
season
you
ended
came
with
back.
Kyrie
And
ACL.
then you came
That's
back
when it
this year
ended.
3-8, bro.
I can't understand that, but 3-8, that's 11 games.
Bro, yeah.
That's not enough time to judge a team. It's not Christmas yet.
What do you mean it's
all
not
right.
enough time to judge a team?
It's not because it's not Christmas yet.
It's a continuation from last year.
We've seen teams start 1-5 and 2-6 and made the playoffs. I'm not saying the Mavs are gonna do it this year,
Y'all
but I'm
not
saying
doing that,
that's
bro.
not enough.
Dallas
Okay,
isn't doing
again, that's your opinion.
the
I'm going off
format
of
didn't believe that.
history.
He fired
I'm
him.
going off of history. Okay, that's fine, but
Format didn't
again,
believe that.
he didn't believe that. He fired him because of fans. He didn't because what he believed. He did it because the fans are crying. That's why he did it.
Well,
He got
I
emotional.
mean,
That's what he did. He
looking
got
at
emotional. He
Dallas
tried
right
to protect
now,
his image. That's what it was. It was protect his image, and he was tired of the legal chance. And he want to protect his product and his business. That's what it was. He didn't give a fuck about the record. Trust me. If the Mavs start off on 10, you hear anything about Nico firing, they want to fire him.
I guess we'll end up finding out.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I guess we'll end up finding out. Dallas right now is 3-8. They are
There's a lot of
technically,
time left.
I
We
mean,
have
Won't be
New
good all
Orleans is
year.
Lively's
two and
coming back.
eight,
Not gonna
and
be
they're
good all year.
tied. Look, I'm gonna put it like this. They're 3-8. The Sacramento Kings are 3-7, and it's already being reported that they're trying to ship all of their guys and
Exactly.
they're
Come
Just
on,
because
dude.
they
rebuilding.
The
see what the
Kings,
product looks like,
the
but
Kings at
they
least
see what
knowing
the product
smart is
looks
the
like
writing on the
fully
wall,
healthy
bro.
though. Yeah, but they've seen their product fully healthy though. We've seen Levine and DeRozan play together for years. We've seen their full roster. We have yet to see one game where the Mavs
This should
from
be a
1 through
concern.
15. Nah, I know what you're saying,
My
but we have yet to see 1 through
Hey,
15 lined up
when's Kyrie
healthy.
gonna be back?
There's been reports gonna
December,
be
right?
back
Late
about either
December.
December.
they say either late December or
Late
early
December.
January.
So you really think Dallas will keep afloat until Kyrie's back? You honestly believe that?
I do. I honestly believe that as soon as AD comes back
And
on the
even
floor, I
when
do
Anthony
believe that.
Davis was
Yes,
playing,
'cause
they
I
didn't
feel like
look
the
that good
games
either. They didn't look
There's
that good the first few games
there are
AD was
two
out
there
there.
Keyshawn, it was 3 games and what were they
AD
2 and
looked
1?
good.
They were 2 and 2 and AD was playing just fine.
They were not 2-2, bro.
He played 4 games.
They were not 2-2.
Keyshawn, they lost 4 straight with AD. They remember they were 2-6. They were 2-2 with them. They lost 4 in a row. I know what I'm talking about. I watched every
They
game.
were not. You were not 2-2, bro.
Sean, they were
You were
two and
not
two.
2-2.
Went on a 4 game losing streak. The last game AD played was his OKC. That was the last game he played. Was the fourth game of the season when they lost single digits. After that, they missed 4 games in a row. They played Houston, the Pistons, the Pelicans, and the recent loss they had. No, the recent one they had was Wizards, and then the recent one they just lost. That's AD missing 5 games in a row. Again, I'm not saying the Mavs win the championship. I'm not saying they make the playoff, but I feel like to make a decision like that, let me get a decision because of fans being irrational and hasty because simply
Irrational.
they just don't like. Yes, it was irrational because again, his team didn't get his product did not get displayed. Like I said, if you're in a stock market, if you're in a business, right, and you put things on a shelf, and let's say you have a product out there and you want to sell, do you expect it to sell within the first week, the first month? If you invest something long term,
They had from January. The deal was
Yeah,
so
that's
the
what I'm
trade happened
saying,
in
bro. Like
January. Hold on.
he's
okay,
The
just
I
he's
deal
just
understand
happened
that
racing
in
last year. He's just
January.
erasing last
the
year.
deal happened in February. The deal happened February 2nd.
No, it
They
did
didn't
Like
get
not
to the
I
happen.
understand,
playoffs.
No, it
we got
happened. It
traded. We got
happened
traded
before the.
February 2nd.
It did
Okay,
happen before the
February,
deadline,
before
though.
the trade deadline. It
It
was
It
was
did
before
happen
February
the
before the
2nd.
trade
deadline.
deadline.
It was February 2nd. I remember the exact day. It was February 2nd.
Which is before the
Okay, so
deadline.
all of February, all of March, and April because they went into the play-in. It didn't look good because they couldn't get them on the court.
That's
Then you
true.
speed up. Gets hurt, and Kyrie gets hurt because he has to start playing 40 minutes a game because they traded Luca, and
Well, it
that is
was a
a big
freak
reason.
accident though. Like
It was
I'm
a
not
freak
complaining the
accident,
minutes
but Imma
though.
Bro,
tell you
every year
right
Kyrie
now,
hurts, man. It's not a freak
you
accident,
can't
man. That was
say
increased
you
workload.
But
can't
Come on,
say
when
that
bro.
the
somebody, but like when
usage
somebody tears something,
he went from
is
30 hold on, he went from 30 minutes a game to 42 minutes a game after the Luka trade.
yeah.
Exactly.
But
Like,
again,
they were
we can't.
overworking him.
We can't blame Nico for Kyrie being injured. Like, and you
Yeah,
know,
I'm not
Kyrie's like a
blaming
defensive
can.
Nico.
player.
I'm not
You
blaming
It's
can.
Nico.
He increased his workload by trading Luca.
The
but again,
injury was
but
a freak
it's part of
accident, but
sports
I'm
though.
just
When you
saying hold on.
land, go ahead.
What I said has nothing to do with Nico. All I'm saying is the facts. Is that the
I
trade happened, and because of it, there was an increased workload, and that's why Kyrie got hurt. Like, it is no doubt about it because of his age. If it was like 10 years ago, Kyrie probably would have been fine. We don't know.
nah, I don't believe. I just don't believe
Exactly.
that. I feel like it's because
The
if you
season
have an
gets shut
accident like
down
that,
essentially, and then you come into this season, and it's a dumpster fire to start, and AD still can't get on the court. I
he
could
was
see
gonna be
why they
back
want to
either
let him
next
go.
game,
And
or this week.
he thinks that's gonna magically change. That's what he thinks.
I feel like we get AD back. I feel like we're going to run. I don't feel like we're way too out of stand. I don't look at any team outside of OKC where I feel like okay, we can't catch them. I feel like the West is pretty much clogged, and I feel like injuries are going to happen throughout the season. Every team's going through an injury bug. That is not named OKC. I feel like they have enough window to catch. Maybe
Think
Denver because
that
Denver has Jokic
Dallas
who's
can
durable.
compete with every other team but
I
OKC.
don't. Maybe OKC and Denver. I don't look at 3 through 8, and I feel like they're
Wow.
and maybe
Hilarious,
Houston gets
bro.
a guard. You
Absolutely
know what I mean? Like
hilarious, man.
again, like I said, I don't look at the West where I feel like every single team out there is a major threat. I feel like every team has flaws
You're a major threat to
outside of
nobody,
OKC
bro.
and Denver. Okay, that's your opinion, but I'm going off of my
Alright.
opinion. I'm not saying Mavs
Yeah,
win
it
it all.
is his opinion.
All I'm saying is outside of OKC, right? Because respectfully, OKC is pretty much not having the flaws. They got 3 percent, they got wings, they got guards, they got bigs, right? They have no flaws. I get it. They got top 2 player in the world. Jokic, the best player in the league, right? He's so durable. Like it doesn't matter what roster you have around him. They're gonna be elite just because of Jokic's presence, right? But any team outside of that, I feel like every other team is gonna go through injury bugs and fall off. Like like so I said, like Mavs, yes, we've been injured for the last 2 years, but I feel like I'd rather be injured now and we built up. Like I said, I'd rather be injured now and we get to January, February, March, and we're healthy.
I'll be injured then.
We don't know the course of the season. Every team's gonna go through injuries. It's part of basketball. So for me to sit up there and be like, I don't think the Magic Club is standing because I feel like the injuries happen right now. And
I'm
I
just
feel
letting you
like
know.
middle of
Anthony
the
Davis
season, where
he's
I
been
know for
injured
sure.
the last two All-Star breaks. I'm just letting you
Okay, and
know.
that's fine. You're gonna see plenty of stars out west that are gonna get hurt. Am I right or wrong? You're telling me KD's
Yeah.
not gonna go a stretch without missing at least 2 or 3 weeks?
But Houston can survive better than you, bro.
Okay,
They
that's not
proved
the
it last
question. I
year.
said, Kishan, that's not the question. The question is, do you see Kevin Durant getting hurt? Yes or no?
Yeah, I can see that. But they'll be fine without
Okay,
him though.
Do you see Jimmy Butler getting hurt?
Oh, the Warriors?
Do you see Jimmy Butler missing a couple times, extended time? Yes or no?
That's just hoping
Everyone's
on
gonna get
injury
hurt.
though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's like
Again,
they're
I'm not hoping on
preparing.
injury, but what I'm saying is
When
you
he's
gotta
There's
older,
an
other
look at
teams are
this
more
expectation
about
of
AD
suspect
though.
injuries
because
when
Like
his
it
players
comes
more
to
durable than yours, bro.
I'm looking at AD is expected to play tomorrow or Friday, right? I'm thinking
Okay,
of
no one said
we
he's
have
not gonna come
enough
back, bro.
time.
But the whole
Five,
point
look,
is
look,
He'll go spurts where he'll play a few weeks, and then something will happen to him, and
Okay,
he'll miss
but that's
time.
that. But you're going
Also,
off of
that
It's
hypotheticals
been
too, though.
rinse, wash,
But
repeat
that's
the
the
last
same
4 years,
thing.
bro.
Okay, but you're going off hypotheticals though. That I can say the same thing about
How's he
Jimmy.
not,
so
About
are
bro?
you.
KD.
So are
Like no,
you.
what I'm saying is I'm going off of. I'm trying to see what the Mavs do with 80 on the floor. He's supposed to be back this week, right?
Yeah,
I feel
but the
like
thing is,
5
so
games in
you
the
have an
finals
Like, he
doesn't
could
expectation.
come
determine the
back.
season.
He could come back, play 2 games, and be hurt again. That's just
Exactly,
That's
AD.
the point,
Exactly,
man.
exactly. Like
But
you can
and
have,
that's fine. But okay, and that's fine. He gets hurt again, and that's fine. But I'm looking at if AD's on the floor, and I feel like he'll be on the
Bro,
floor
I'm
for
LeBron
experience.
fan, Herb's Laker
yeah,
fan.
but
We
what
literally
if
watch
he's
Anthony
not on the
Davis go
floor?
year in, year out, bro.
Like the thing is that even with you have like there's nothing wrong with having an expectation of there's always going to be injuries. There's nothing we can do about it. It is something that we
Exactly, and
cannot
I feel like
stop in
AD's being
sports.
judged for it
But
because he's close to
you
Luka.
you just because the thing is though, yes, other teams are going to get injured. You can't have that expectation for
Exactly.
others and not reflect it back on the own team. Like
Exactly.
Dallas is not a young team really
And not old
with
either, though.
that like in terms of their no, but their core is Kyrie is old in basketball years. Anthony
Or that's
Davis is
just good
getting
players, though.
old in basketball. Yeah, but the thing is those are their best players, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but
Their
like, there's
best
two
players
players that
are
are
old
30.
and injury prone.
Their two best players are 30, and the rest are under 28. I think Klay Thompson. If Klay Thompson,
And
he's
their
not
two
even
best
starting
players are
anymore.
injury prone.
That's understandable, but that's the same thing with that's like a lot of teams have
So
players
you
that are
have to
30.
have that
Giannis
A
is
expectation
lot
like
of
that they're
games.
going to be
Giannis,
out as well.
Giannis,
Like, do you
Giannis.
think AD is
The
playing
Pacers'
50
two
games this
best
year?
players are 30. Miles Turner's 30. Miles Turner's 30 years old now, and Giannis is
Miles
Do you
Why are
think
you?
32
AD is
Why are
playing?
you? Why
I
are
Hold
don't
we
on.
talking
know.
about the Bucks?
because he
Do
said
any
two
of you
best
think
players
AD
are
is
30 something.
playing? Do any of you think AD is playing 50 games this year? Over under?
No, no.
I
I
think
say
he is.
under.
I think once he comes back, he's not gonna be gone for a while. That's how I feel, and time will tell. But I feel like AD's when he's back, I feel like he's gonna be good. I feel like he's gonna
Mind
be on
you,
my
Herb,
extension. And I
mind you,
feel like
he's gained a
he'll
lot
be
of
all right.
pounds since last year.
Herb, what do you
Okay,
think?
he still look good. He still
I
averaged
don't
25,
see him
12, and
playing
3.
that much games.
All right,
Okay,
so you
like
got
again,
under.
time will tell.
Okay.
You guys have under. I understand that, but for me, I'm going off what I think. I
Even
think AD's
even
gonna
at
be
eight,
back, and I think he'll be
bro,
fine.
they're not a good
I
team,
mean, it's
bro.
just
They're not a good team when I'm out there. They're
based off of
500
history,
at best when he's out
though.
there.
Like,
Okay, 500 bet. Look, 500 at best for me. 500 at best for me is still a left wiggle room to make room because I don't feel like any Western team is that really honestly so far ahead outside of OKC. Never, I really feel like that. And Houston's like a step below because I feel like Houston as soon as they get a guard, I put Houston in the top tier. But outside of them three teams, like Spurs are young, the Lakers have flaws, the Warriors also have flaws because they're older in age. Like everything has flaws. Minnesota has flaws. I don't look at any top tier team. They're not like they're just way better than the Mavs. Like they're just so much better than them.
All
Those
right.
teams you just
Well,
mentioned got top tier superstars, by the way.
Top tier.
yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. You just named all those teams.
Uh,
The,
The
all right.
top
Wolves have
tier.
Anthony Edwards, bro.
The
Ken's
Anthony
got some
Edwards
pretty good
is 23
points.
years old.
The Warriors have Steph Curry.
Yeah, but Steph Curry's roster around him.
Okay, Dallas roster is not that good.
Yeah, but if you look at the
Yeah,
Mavs roster,
let's not get into the Warriors.
again, wait, go ahead on the subject. You said the Mavs
No, you're
roster not that
good.
good. Like I said, they're number one in clutch time games played. They have a bunch of dudes scoring double figures.
Okay,
All right,
If
hold on.
you
We're
add two top 20 players there,
let's not loop
like
back.
okay, that's gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Let's not loop back constantly over because we're gonna start going and sounding like a record. You had some pretty good points. Like I think a lot of your points are valid in some perspectives if you're trying to look at it as we didn't really get to see the vision, but that's also sports.
That's all I was
And
trying to say.
sometimes, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's your opinion. And when it comes to sports, visions sometimes just aren't always seen. Some trades just don't work out, and that's just how sports goes. And right now, unfortunately for Nico, the trade hasn't worked out for him, and it doesn't seem like it's going to. Outside of, I guess, it's a good thing that Dallas fans get Cooper Flag and a chance. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get final thoughts from Herb and Key in terms of what they think of what's gonna happen with Dallas real quick. Uh,
Can I
we'll
just say
see
one
what
more
they
thing?
do. Yeah, what's up?
I also want to say because I also feel like the Mavs All Star game because I feel like Cooper Flag's been playing in that position in the last 3 games. I feel like if Cooper Flag's starting to find his footing in his leg, and I feel like that's when Cooper Flag plays at this level because he's starting to get better each game by game. And I feel like beginning of the season, Cooper Flag was out of position. the Mavs offense started opening back up when they put him back at the wing. You put a guard next to him, and that's why I said I feel like we still had a lot of wiggle room to grow because I feel like Flag's gonna be somewhere between a 15, 18 point game score as soon as he these backs. I feel like he's starting his game, starting to elevate game by game. And that's what I was saying. I'm like, when you have Flag, he's pretty much gonna get better as the season goes on. I feel like the Mavs have yet to hit their peak. That's all I'm saying. And Keyshawn was just getting upset at that. So I
I'm
mean,
not getting
I'll let
upset.
her
I'm
Keyshawn
not a
talk.
bad
But
fan,
Strong
bro.
opinion. That's all. He's just got a strong opinion on it, and it just goes against it.
Not
I don't
upset
think
at
he's really
all.
upset. He's not a Dallas fan. He doesn't give a fuck.
no, he was also calling Flag a bust 11 games in the season. We say he wasn't that good.
Bro, I'm
No, he's just
trolling this
trolling.
dude. I don't know, like
Anyways, all right. So we're gonna get the last little. We're just gonna get a little predictions in for Dallas right now. Herb, we're gonna set it to what trade deadline? Let me see. When is it? February 6th was this year. What is it? 2026 we need it for?
Mhm.
Yep, it'll be February 5th is the trade deadline. Herb, where do you predict Dallas is going to be? We'll say 500. Yeah, we'll start 500 at a basis. Where do you think they're going to be come February 5th? And are they buying or selling?
Mm, as of right now, how they're looking, I can't see them over 500. It's it's just
As
too much
Where do you
going
see them
on.
at?
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on over there, and they got the worst offense in the league right now. And I don't see how in
well,
that much
they got
time, I
two.
don't see how that improves drastically,
Okay.
especially with Kyrie not being on the floor and AD being in and out. They ain't got
Respectable.
no
It is
continuity.
Okay.
understandable.
Yeah, I just don't see.
All right.
It's hard to judge because we're still very fresh in the season, but it's just hard to
Barely
see
in
like.
November.
Now, Herb, you got good points. Like everything you say is valid. I respect it.
All right, Key, what do you think? Where do you think Dallas will be
I
come
think
February 5th?
I mean before the season, I said they'll
You
be
know,
lucky to be in the playoffs. I'm gonna stick with that. I just don't trust Anthony Davis. This coming from LeBron fan, I watched him as his teammate for years. So I know how this guy is. The offense is atrocious. I don't see how it's gonna get much better.
that's sorry, that's funny, man.
I think there'll be cells at the deadline. That's my opinion though. Especially with Nico getting fired.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see them. I don't
But
Don't
know,
see it, man.
man.
can
This
we
guy's
not
he's
admit
supposed to
I
that?
don't
expect
know.
me to believe that Dallas gonna leapfrog all these top tier teams in the West.
But
Or not even
can we
top tier, like good playoff teams. Meanwhile, the West this year is like competitive as hell.
It was competitive last year. The 4
Exactly.
seed through the 10 seed was decided by a game.
Right.
I mean,
And
but most LeBron
I
or
honestly think by
any
the time Kyrie comes back, they're gonna be too big of a hole. Even if they start winning games by then. Like in the
if we're in a
West,
plane,
you can't
if we're in a plane, if Kyrie's back, I feel like that's enough time. If we're out of playing, then we're
being
out of time.
being in the
At that
plane is
point,
not a
I
good
think they
position,
should
man. You
just
don't wanna
they might as well just
right.
tank
Why
for
would you want
next
to be
year
in the
because there's
plane
a lot of
for?
good talent coming out of
You don't
next
want to be in
year.
the plane, bro.
That's
Like
why
the
it
The
whole
would make
plane,
more
plan
I
sense
the
to
whole
don't.
plan
just
shouldn't
sell at the
be
No
deadline and
seeding's
Dallas
locked.
be in
get
the
as many
plane
picks for
and
this
But
hope
I
draft.
you
feel like
going
it's
on a
all,
run.
but the playoffs also about matchups though. It's not about what's the best team. As long as I feel like as long as they avoid OKC, uh, which is a tough saying, and I feel like any other team I wouldn't be too scared to play. It's about matchups. It's about what teams match up the best. It's not about what's a better team. If you have a better matchup for that team, sometimes you get upsets. Happened
Yeah, but
last year.
look how other teams'
The
benches
Warriors are
are
literally
playing without.
The Warriors are literally the perfect matchup for Houston. You could say Houston had better. Technically, Houston had a better roster on paper, but the Warriors were a better matchup
That's
for
not
them.
that's not the same thing though, man.
All right, we just got a new entry. Justin, we want to get your opinion on the Nico firing. What do you think? Or we got I don't think Justin's here yet.
What the fuck is that?
I
Mute
think we
him.
should switch topics, man. I feel like we spent a lot
All
of time on
right.
this topic. Let's move on to
Well,
This is
like
the only
yeah,
topic
let's.
we're gonna talk about.
I
This
thought
is the
we're
only
going
topic we're
Yeah, I was
talking
let's
about
end.
this one. No, this is
I thought we are gonna do the the season, like the awards predictions
Not
and stuff.
not this one. We were doing an emergency pod because Nico got fired. That one's gonna be
Oh, okay.
continuing on
Yeah.
the next actual one we do. This one's just going up because of the Nico firing.
Yeah, my phone's finna die, so I gotta go.
All right, Herb. We'll catch you later. Justin, are you there?
All right.
Justin? Nope. All right. We're gonna go ahead.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
what
wrap
you
it up
ended.
then.
Yeah.
That's fine. I wanted to keep it short anyway, so it works out. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna keep an eye on Dallas throughout the season as they go. After Nico Harrison was fired from his general manager role, he was replaced, and there is an interim, and he'll probably be sitting there for the meantime. And there's also reports that Jason Kidd will be taking front office. Could potentially be taking a front office role, kind of
I'm
like
on
what
it for
Brad
that.
Stevens did. That's pretty good for him. I think he'll be great in that position. We'll
Mhm.
see who ends up taking over the head coach, which means Cooper Flagg will be getting a new head coach most likely after the season. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Yeah, that's it.